All right. Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast. Today we're going to be joined by San Antonio's number one necio, the one and only Spurnandez. Spurnandez, thank you for joining the show, brother.
Is in the house. Thanks for having me, bro.
There you go, man. Hey, and not only that, dude, he's sporting his own gear like he was showing right now.
Know. There it is. Hey, Bear County. That's Bear County apparel right there. Yeah.
Speaking of Bear County, I'm sporting the money bags today, bro.
There you go. You see that? Look at that. There you go.
We're supporting local today, brother. We're supporting local today.
Yes, sir. So always.
We already got some of our normal people in the house tonight. We have Christopher Leja. He says, "Let's fucking get it, boys. Let's fucking go, bro." We also have him again. He goes, "Happy Hump Day." He goes, "We're halfway there. Stay winning, homies." You too, brother. Tim Gonzalez, he goes, "Yo, what good, Joe? What's up, Tim?" Mike Baez, he says, "From my Bear County Social Apparel, orale," because we're both sporting the gear today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said, Daniel Castro, I hope Jeff is wearing a bra today. No, hombre, because he's talking about Carolina that I had on yesterday. She's being silly, man. And then Fred Villarreal, he says, "What's up? Let's go humping." So we're gonna
Puro necios.
Yeah, dude, yeah. That's what it's all about, dude. We like having a good time, you know. And speaking of a good time, we have Spurnandez on today because he's joining us all the way from Cali, man. Full disclosure here, you know. So he's up early today. He's on the Pacific time right now, and that
West Coast Wednesday. West Coast Wednesday. Yeah.
So it's 12 over here. So it's about maybe 9 o'clock over there where you're at, you know.
Yeah.
So thanks for waking up early, homie. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get Spurnandez take on, you know, his weekend here in San Antonio last weekend, because he was here. I think you were here Friday, Saturday, the weekend, you know?
Yeah, yep. I got here Thursday, and actually first order of business was linking up with Chris Leja, Johnny Ron Football, and those necios, and we had some drinks. Now that was the first order of business. Yeah.
You're all over there at the Twin Peaks?
Yeah, ya sabes.
Which one?
We can't disclose that, man.
We'll talk about that off camera. Yeah, but it was good, man. It was good to see you back in town having a good time. You know, you were there with your girl too, Steph. Shout out to her. You know,
absolutely.
Holding it down for you, man. Keeping you in check.
Yeah, she is. Hey, I'm telling you, she is, bro. She really is. She brought the good juju to reverse the curse. I'm telling you, the Spurnandez curse is no more because of Steph. So Chicana Fuerte 88.
There you go. And she said, I know, man, I was laughing because everybody wants to hang out, right? Even I did. I tried to reach out to you, but I know you're busy, right? And she says, Spurnandez is on my time, you know? So I was like, oh,
facts, bro. Big time
like
facts.
That. Hey, I know you don't want to hang out, but you got to play your role, you know?
hey, you already know. You already know how it goes. It goes.
So
but absolutely.
So you got to hang out, man. Like, what are your local places besides the Bill Millers, man, that you like to frequent when you come back to San Antonio?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Hey, I have a lot of love for Bill Miller, and it's funny because I get into these conversations. You know, people are like, Bill Miller. Like, listen, I worked there in high school. It's good for what it is. I never said it was one of those, you know, barbecue spots that you're gonna like wait till they run out. Like, it's good for what it is, right? You know. But no, man. You know, I hit up Mudslingers, right? Shout out to our local coffee shop. I hit them up. You know, friendly spot is always a good spot to have a drink and watch a game. To be honest, this time around, I kind of just chilled. I didn't really go out too much. I did do the SAFC Spurs night. Yeah, man, you know, I definitely Southtown, Taco Haven. That's one of the spots that I went and had Steph and I went and had some mimosas and some breakfast tacos. That's always a spot. So, yeah, man, this time around, kind of just chilled out a little bit.
Yeah, man. Cool, dude. And not only that, but I saw that you were also went to the SAFC game for Spurs night. That's what they had over there. They had Spurs night.
Yeah.
So tell us, man, like how was that? You know, what was the scene? Because did you tailgate before you went to the
absolutely. You know what? And a full disclosure, I'm not a big soccer guy. Like, I'm really not, right? Steph kind of got me into the SAFC thing, right? Because she's a season ticket holder. So when I first got with her, she took me to the games, and it's a vibe. Like, I can enjoy anything live, especially when there's some drinks, right? But I tell you what, the tailgates are off the hook. Shout out to the Crocketeers, the Necios, Alamo Beer Company. They put together an awesome tailgate. A lot of it is just for donation, and there's food for the kids, there's drinks, there's music. Like, it's a vibe. Like, it really is, right? And it's a good time. Everybody's family friendly. I know Jenica's out there. She kind of runs a lot of it too. But yeah, so the tailgate's a good way to start. And then we roll inside to the bunker. I'm telling you, the bunker's the spot to be. That's where the Necios are. The Necios, right? Spurs and Chill from Twitter's in there. Los Gatos Blanco from Twitter. I actually met a lot of Twitter folks this time around, which is awesome, right? It's so cool to like meet people just off of the little screen. But the bunker is a vibe. The game was 0-0, but it was rowdy and Necio, and they're banging the drums. The Coyote was out there. The Spurs hype squad was out there. Jeremy Sohan and City Sissoko were out there. I actually got a picture. I know some of y'all hate when I take pictures, but I did get a picture with City Sissoko. But like I said, don't worry. Steph has reversed the curse, so there's no more curse. But actually, cool story. After the game, we were walking away, and there's like a private parking lot, and that's where Jeremy and City were getting into their badass Lamborghinis, and there's a handful of fans that were like waving at them, and City just stopped from getting inside of his car and walked to where we were at and took pictures with people and stuff like that. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
That's cool, man. That's true. Like you were saying too, man. Steph reversed the curse, so you took some pictures, but even you took pictures with Jeremy Sohan.
Like I did.
2 seasons ago or a season ago, right?
His rookie year before the Vegas Summer League. I took a picture of Jeremy Sohan. So you see, he's still here. So we're all good. We're all good.
Yeah, so no quemas, cuz.
Exactly. No more bag mop,
Yeah, man. So speaking of that, dude, like, how was the vibe out there as far as like, I guess the trophies that they had? Did they have anything else?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they had the trophies. Yeah, they had the trophies. They had the banners. It's pretty cool because they have the 5 trophies, and you can take pictures with them. And then they have the banners spread out like in different areas. So it's almost like you could kind of go on a little hunt. Like, oh, let me go find the 03, 05 banner. Let me go find the 99 banner. I took a picture in front of the 03 and 05 banners. So it's kind of cool. They have it spread out around. Like I said, the trophies are out there. Coyotes out there. Hype squad throwing out shirts. It's a good time.
That's cool, man. So. Yeah. Hey, did they have dollar beer night or no?
No. Unfortunately, no dollar beer night. But hey, they still go down smooth,
Yeah. So how was the crowd though? Because from the TV perspective, man, it looked like there was a lot of empty seats. But then when I was talking with some people that went, they said that the seats were actually full.
So I know there was again, I'm not a soccer guy, but Messi was playing that night. And that was a big deal. So I would imagine a lot of soccer purists were kind of involved in that. Maybe it wasn't as crowded as it normally is. But towards the end of the night, it still was a vibe. Like I said, the bunker's always popping. It don't matter what the seats look like. Yeah. If they need to pan into the bunker, right? Because the bunker's always popping, which is just it's standing room right behind the goal. Right, one of the goals. So it's a vibe, right? But it started off a little bit slow as far as the fan attendance, but towards the end of the night, it got going. But like I said, I know there was the Messi game and those other stuff going on, so maybe that has something to do with it. But it was still a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that they had a special too. So if you wanted to, you could spend like $70-something, and you would get all the bobbleheads.
That's right. Yeah,
river boats, the river barge. Did you get that, or you already had to collect?
I did it. No, I didn't. You know what? I've collected some throughout the time, and Steph has grabbed a couple. So we have a good amount of them. But yeah, I didn't do that. But that was a good deal because I know it's hard to get those. Especially when you got people hoarding them. In trash bags. Put on Necios and then turning around and selling them. But it was a good deal for folks that wanted them. But I didn't do it.
Yeah. Hey, they were asking. Tim Gonzalez says, "Did you get the alien drink yet over there at Mudslingers?"
You know what? I didn't, and I'm sorry because I wanted to. I went to Mudslingers, and I got a coffee, just a mocha, and it was amazing. So shout out to Mudslingers, but I didn't get the alien. I told Steph, I was like, man, I should have got the alien. That's gonna be on my list next time I come back.
Yeah. Did y'all get those little mini donuts that they had out there?
They're bomb. They're bomb, bro. Yeah, they're bomb. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was teasing Jeff the other day. I said, man, Jeff's going to eat the whole cup because he's really into health and fitness, But I guess, he'll get a little bit of sweet sometimes. So I was like, it's a small cup, but still, it's like, I bet you he won't be able to withhold himself. He's gonna go all in and eat the whole thing.
Hey, sometimes got to indulge yourself a little bit.
For real, dude. Hey, but another thing let's talk about is today is the one and only Kobe Bryant's birthday, man. He would have been 45 today. So
Yeah.
happy birthday, Kobe Bryant, man. You know, I mean,
Happy birthday, Kobe. Yeah, legend. Goat,
yeah,
man.
dude,
One of the
and
legends. Yeah.
it's a sad day too, you know, because it's the what could have been, you know, like what could he have given the world still? He had so much left to give and teach everybody, you know, and
Absolutely.
he even had like an Academy Award for one of the animated films that he made about his story, you know, about himself.
Mhm.
And he was indulging, you know, kind of, you know, going into that arena, you know. So it
Yeah.
was like, man, he would have been able to contribute so many things that he's still been here with us, but he's still here in spirit, you know. So we just wanted to go and give the GOAT, you know, Kobe Bryant, a shout out on his birthday, man. Any good
Absolutely.
memories that you
Respect.
had?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Hey, I always tell people, man, I respect Kobe, man. I really do. I love those '90s and 2000 battles, that the Spurs had with the Lakers, man. I'm out in San Diego, so that it's pretty much Laker Town, Clipper Town is starting to emerge a little bit. But there's a lot of Lakers fans where I'm at in San Diego, and I always tell them, I said, look, those 2000s battles of Kobe versus Timmy, and Manu, and all those were memorable, man. So yeah, rest in peace, Kobe. Shout out, happy birthday, man. Definitely a legend, man. Definitely a legend. There's also, there's a handful of birthdays today. Devin Vassell, birthdays today, and the Xavier the Freaking Rican. It's his birthday today. So yeah, a lot of good birthdays today. A lot of good company.
Yeah, man.
So
I was gonna ask you, like, what's the best memory that you have of Kobe Bryant going up against the San Antonio Spurs? Like, you're like, a lot of people didn't like
man,
Kobe back in the day during those battles because he was so
yeah.
good.
Well,
That's
of
why they
course,
didn't like
yeah.
Kobe, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't like him back then, right? I hated
Yeah,
him because I mean the dude's amazing. I mean
yeah.
the dude's
He's a
he's a
baller.
fighter, man. He's great. He's a baller. He's gritty, right? He's a tough dude. He's always out there. And there's so many memories, but I love there's a picture that I love of him and like Timmy that is just kind of just the mutual respect. That's one thing I will say. Kobe, he was a trash talker. He did his thing, but it was never like to be disrespectful. Like it was just really like, hey man, I'm out here being a warrior. You're on your side being a warrior. Let's just go to war, kind of thing, right? So he had respect for Timmy and Pop and all that. So I love that about Kobe, that he you could tell that he had nothing but respect and love for Timmy and Pop and the crew.
Yeah, David Outwater. I just put a comment up here. I'll put it again. He said, I wonder what Kobe would say on Wemby. Now that would be something, man, because Wemby is a special type of player at his height, you know, and what he's able to do with his athleticism and his handles and the way he sees the court and he passes and all that, you know, and he's a competitor,
Oh
just
yeah,
like
oh
Kobe,
yeah,
you know. So I wonder
yeah,
what the Black Mamba would say about him, you know.
yeah,
That would
yeah.
be
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
David. Oh, this is Joe Gonzalez. He says, I hated the guy because he was an assassin. I look back now and think how much of a clown I was. Kobe is great, hands down. He is, man. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's why a lot of Spurs fans are like, nah, Kobe, this and that. No. It was because he was so good and he would just like go out there and just be a baller and dismantle the Spurs at times and bring the Lakers back when the Spurs had a lead. And that's the thing, man. He was a competitor. He never quit, you know, and neither did the Spurs. That's why those battles between the Spurs and Lakers are going to be ingrained in our minds. You know, it's history now. It's something
Absolutely.
that we're not going to see for a long time. You know, I mean, yes, the Spurs do have Wemby, but those battles between the Spurs and the Lakers, man, that was history in the making. That was special, man. That was special.
Absolutely.
Look
Absolutely.
at the Drew Show. He says, respect, even when he broke Manu's nose with the cheap shot. F that and F Kobe.
Hey, look, hey, Robert Ory took out Nash, right, with that hip check. Hey, look, hey, all fair in love and war and Spurs versus Lakers, you know. I honestly don't, again, things happen. I don't know for sure if he set out to do that as a cheap shot. I don't know. We don't know for sure, but I think it's just, hey, it's part of the battle. You know, it's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, man, for real, dude. But it was nonetheless, we just wanted to take a pause here and say happy birthday to the great Kobe Bryant, man. And speaking of, we're talking about having San Antonio's number one Necio, here on the show today. I'm gonna go ahead and share this screen, man, because we got to take a look at this, dude. The Marbach, el puro pinche Marbach, man, strikes again, brother. It's always there's always something with the no quema cuz, the Marbach pop, dude. And
Yeah,
here we
yeah.
go. 10-5, man. police arrested a team during a traffic stop in a stolen car and with a weapon. And when I looked at the story, you know, I was like, I'm gonna go out here and check it out and see what's going on with Ken's Five. They went on to say that the 17-year-old is facing charges in nearly 30 aggravated robberies in the San Antonio area. So they went ahead and pulled this brother over for a routine traffic stop. He had a weapon. They arrested this dude. He's arguably involved in 30 robberies, probably more than that. And he had some homies with him, so they got caught up in this too. They got arrested. And they said that they're part of a robbery ring that has been going on over here on this side of town. And maybe it was going around San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, where they just went on a robbery spree and they were just going ahead and just holding people up at gunpoint, stealing their cash, they're stealing their phones and whatnot, you know, all over the city. So I mean, 17 years old. I was like, man, anybody with that stupid haircut, dude, they should be arrested on the spot, bro. Why
profiling? You're profiling them.
I'm like, bro, always with the Marbach mop, man. These guys with these stupid Edgar cuts, dude. That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen in my life, man. I mean, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, man. You know, listen, I'm from Marbach, right? At Puro Exit 7, right? Dave Atwater says Exit 7, right? Puro Exit 7, right? I grew up in Marbach. I went to John Jay, right? And all that, right? So I rep Marbach, dog. I represent that side of town. And I sometimes you to keep from crying, you just gotta laugh, right? So I jokingly throw around that Marbach mop and all that, because when I see this stuff, like you said, all jokes aside, it's pretty sad. You know, it's pretty sad that we got young men out there acting like that. You know, it really is, because I we for our future if that's what's out there doing that, right? So all jokes aside, and I'm not trying to get too sentimental, but man, they need a father, they need a mentor, they need something, and the sad thing is they might have them and they're just not listening. That's what's really sad, right? Because you hear that a lot, right? Oh, fatherless behavior, or somebody's not around, or I don't know the situation. They may or may not be. Sometimes they have good people, good moms, good tias, good grandma's telling them the right thing, and they don't freaking listen, man. But anyway, I'm not trying to turn into Dr. Phil here, but yeah, man, that haircut, bro. I'll tell you what, we used to, you know, John Dyer, we would laugh about the Fernando Vargas blonde tips back in the day, right? That I'll tell you what, that looks way better than this Marbach mop here, right? So
I'm telling you, man.
You know, it's man. I don't know what it is, bro. I really don't.
These kids, they're gonna look back on this, man, when they're older, and they're gonna be like, man, burn all the pictures, you know, every single one. They're gonna be embarrassed to that, man. Hey, but let me go ahead and play a quick read here from one of our sponsors, because we got to go ahead and give a shout out to the ones that pay the bills, you know.
Got to.
J-Par Real Estate has been a proud sponsor of ours since day one. Check out Cynthia J. Sanchez. Her reviews can't be wrong, because all of the people that she sells homes to, they give her 5 stars and say that she is prompt, that she is understanding, that she communicates well, that she calls back, that she answers questions correctly. And yes, they say that she is good at what she does. If you are in the market to buy a home, sell a home, whether it be a rental property, primary residence, or Airbnb, reach out to Cynthia J. Sanchez from J-Par Real Estate. Her number is 210-273-0748. She has 16 years of experience in real estate and is a former claims adjuster with USAA. So she knows what she's looking for when she's showing you those pre-owned homes. Give Cynthia J. Sanchez a call at 210-273-0748 for all your real estate needs. Yes, so do make sure you go and call Cynthia J. Sanchez. She's very good at what she does. So if you're looking for a new home, or you're looking for that rental property, maybe to go ahead and go ahead and get an Airbnb to rent out to the homies here in San Antonio during Fiesta, hit up Cynthia J. Sanchez, 210-273-0748. Hey, man, our time is starting to come to a close a little bit here. We're going to keep you on till about 12:25, 12:28. But before I let you pop off here, man, I got to go ahead and talk about some MLB news, you know, Major League Baseball. There's a heated, let's say not a rivalry, but there's a race here for the AL West. And it's between the Rangers and the Houston Astros. Now, the Rangers lost yesterday. The Astros won. They beat the Red Sox. So now when I woke up this morning, I went ahead and looked at the standings in the AL West. And lo and behold, what do I see? Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros both with 72 wins. So the The Rangers are at 72-54. They still lead the division. Houston Astros are at 72-55. So basically, at this juncture, if the Rangers lose another game and the Astros win, they can go ahead and be the tops in the division by maybe tomorrow. So that's a good race going on right there in the MLB. That's for the wild card too. So I mean, whoever wins, you're in, as far as your division. Now, if you don't win, then you're going to be in the wild card race. So the wild card race that I'm looking at right now, let's go ahead and take a look at that. The standings as of this point in time in your AL card, in the AL wild card teams race, you have the Tampa Bay Rays who lead the wild card race with 76 wins, followed by the Houston Astros with 72 wins and the Seattle Mariners with 71. So that's a tight race as well. So basically these teams got to keep winning in order to keep their hopes alive, and I know Astros fans out there are just, all we need is just my team to win. They just need the team to win. That way they go ahead and get a chance to go ahead and defend, because they are the defending world champs, So we're going to see what happens, man. But everybody's always shaking. Look at David Atwater shaking my damn hand. My Rangers, Rangers have lost 5 in a row. Hey, bro, it happens. Remember what happened during the World Series? They were 1 out away, and they choked on that as well. So I know how Rangers fans feel, because we, as Cowboys fans, we know that, man. We know how that feels, dude. We want to get back to the promised land. We're only about maybe a couple weeks, 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks away from the NFL season kicking off, man. And before I let you go, I got to get your thoughts, man. What do you think about the Cowboys? Because I know you're a big-time Cowboy fan as well, like me, lifelong.
Yeah, man, yeah. Hey, so I was out in Oxnard to check out the training camp a couple of weeks ago. Hey, man, listen, Aaron, they look good. They did, man. They look good. Just like anything else, man. I know I know the running joke. Oh, every year you guys say it's your year, right? But man, they're right there. They are right there, man. They are right there. I'm interested to see Mike McCarthy calling the plays, right? Like, see how that affects things. The defense is still going to be on point. The defense is going to be the key. And again, man, I'm excited. I know they play. I want to say the Chargers at SoFi Stadium in LA this year. So I'll be there. I'll be repping that Cowboys gear. I'm telling you, man, I was there last year, and SoFi looked like a damn Cowboys home game. There's so many Cowboys fans in the LA area. It's crazy. So definitely excited. Tim Gonzalez says college football starts this. That's true. Excited for college football also, right? Hook 'em horns, baby.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, dude, I saw a picture here. And this picture that I checked out, I mean, I was just scrolling through Twitter, and all of a sudden it popped up, man. I'm going to bring this up here. And I saw Coach Pop, man. He was over there with at UT, him and R.C. So I'm going to share the screen. I don't know if you've seen it or not, dude, but it was
I haven't.
I thought it was pretty dope, man. Here it is. I'm going to share it on screen. Yeah, so I got this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got this off of Vic Schaefer, Coach Vic at UT _ at UT, University of Texas. So this was like yesterday. So it was he said, shout out and thank you to Coach Pop and the Spurs organization for their time this morning. I guess they were speakers over here at the Texas UT, Texas
awesome.
basketball. So they got, they got a better day, I guess, because not only, Coach Pop was there, but RC and some of the representatives from the San Antonio Spurs. So that's cool, man, to see that they're having love, they're spreading their love, cool. Their knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
That's an awesome picture, dude. So kudos to Coach Pop, man, and RC for going out there and talking to the women's basketball over at UT.
That's good stuff.
And let's see what he says. Yeah. College football starts on this Saturday. Hell yes, college football starts this Saturday. And I know you're a big UT fan as well,
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about the team this season, man?
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I went to UT through the Navy Marine ROTC program after I enlisted in the Marine Corps for a couple of years. So I was amazed to be able to do that. Right, I lived in Austin for 4 years and did UT. But I was in Austin this weekend too. I forgot to mention that. Steph and I went to a volleyball game because the UT volleyball is a powerhouse. So we took our kids to go see the volleyball game and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm excited for UT football this year. I'm definitely gonna try to get out to a game. We'll see, man. It's all the changes in college football and all the conferences and stuff makes things pretty exciting. So.
Hell yeah, dude. But you know what, man? I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, dude. I appreciate you for stepping in here and being
man,
our
no problem.
guest for today. And you know what? Full disclosure moving forward, too. Spurnandez, man, he's going to be part of Two Shots Podcast talking Spurs because we need the fan perspective, and he's the voice of the fan, dude. And he travels well. You go everywhere, man. You go from all the games that are over there in L.A. You're over there with Sacramento games. You come back home, and not only do you watch the games here in San Antonio, but you travel to Houston. You travel to Dallas. I think I've even seen you travel over there to was it Atlanta or was it to the Pelicans game as well, right?
I went to Atlanta for my birthday last year. I regularly do Phoenix. Hey, Spurs, the opener, October 25th. We got to get a big Twitter gathering, man. I'm telling you, I'll be in the house. Steph and I will be in the house. I'll actually be there for the first preseason game. I got those tickets already unlocked. So I'll be there for the first preseason. I want to say it's like October 14th, something like that. And then the opener, the season opener, the October 25th. Hey, we got to get all the Nestros together. Spurs Twitter, Spurs family. It's all love. It's all love. And hey, people can hate me, and it's all fun and games, and it's all love, man. Like, let's all get together. Hey, let's buy a beer. First round on money bags if he's in the house, but yeah, no, man. It definitely this is the exciting time of the year when baseball is wrapping up, college football starting, basketball starting, right? NFL's rolling. Like, this is the best time of the year, man. The fall classics.
Yeah, dude, definitely, man. But thanks again, man, for being a guest on today's show, brother. I'll hit you up so we can go ahead and get you on Two Shots as well.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, man.
And not a problem, man. I'll see you, man. Thanks a lot.
All right. Be safe, Sananto.
All right. So we're going to have our next guest coming out here shortly. That's going to be Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's Five, and of course, the host of the one and only Locked On Spurs podcast, which I made an appearance on today. It's up already. So go ahead and go check that out at Jeff's Twitter. It's at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you check that out. And we're going to go ahead and pause real quick to go ahead and have another ad read from one of our sponsors. Serenity Manor is an events venue located at 14405 Old Bandera Road, across from Flora's Country Store, set in a historic building that is over 100 years old. You can have a baby shower, bridal showers, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, corporate events, weddings. There's an indoor and outdoor venue with a dance floor and a sand volleyball court out in the back, set under the shade of the trees, and there is beautiful lighting in the evenings. Serenity Manor is a very beautiful place that is very family oriented, and they have rotating Thursday nights. They have karaoke and game nights. They also have a bar that serves beer, wine, and margaritas. So after a concert at Flora's Country Store, you can go over, diagonal across the street, Caddy Corner, grab a beer, get away from the crowd, and check out the beautiful Serenity Manor. So make sure you all go and check out Serenity Manor. Again, that address is going to be 14405 Old Bandera Road in Lotus, Texas. The zip code is 78023. All right, and it's about that time. We're going to have the one and only Jeff Garcia join us. And again, he's the host of Locked On Spurs and the lead Spurs writer for Ken's Five San Antonio. Let's go ahead and welcome Jeff Garcia. Jeff, how's it going, man?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, good to have you on today, man. And I was just telling everybody before you got here that I am the featured guest on today's Locked On Spurs episode.
That's right.
So
Joe is the guest today. We go over, we put Malachi Branham on the spotlight with a different topic, asking if he should get a pass. And then we also talked about, who might regress next season with the arrival of Wemby. So it's a great show. Joe had a controversial player he picked in his list. Go check it out right now.
Yeah, man, you got to go check that out and listen. It was a good listen. It was a good discussion. And full disclosure, man, I appreciate Jeff because I was called upon to be a guest at last minute. I went ahead and took up the helm.
Yeah.
And
you know who you filled in for?
No.
You know who you filled in for? Vinny Vencetta, Ken's Five. He called me like about a couple of hours before he was supposed to come on. He said he couldn't make it. I made a deal with Joe. Joe makes it very clear he can't do much at work. I said, well, why don't we just do an audio only? And we were able to put that together. So no video on today's episode, but we got yourself an audio episode.
Yeah. And you know what? Just for you for today, man, because you're on the show, I am sporting.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let me see it. I have not seen it yet. Let me see. All right, that's not bad. It's
back.
cool. I can't wait to get mine. I know Bear County said he has one for me, or I think he left it with you to give to me. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I got one here for you, man.
Yeah. So I'll get that hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
But
we got the
yeah,
money bags, man.
yeah, Bear. You see, with Bear, you don't know. You can put a concept out there on social media, and he'll run with it and make a T-shirt out of it. So, but I need royalties, Bear. Where are my royalties? We're gonna run with this, and I better see some royalties right now. It's kind of a quiet period right now in the Spurs news, but I had an article today that went up first thing in the morning at kens5.com/Spurs. This went under the radar, Joe, and I thought it should have been highlighted more. Blake Wesley put on a private basketball skills camp for kids, but it wasn't just simply, okay, learn how to dribble, learn how to shoot. I mean, that was part of it, but he wanted to impart healthy habits like eating well, sleeping well, etc. So it's up right now at kens5.com/Spurs. You want to check it out, as well as Joe's guest appearance on Locked On Spurs.
I look at that, the Drew Show. He says, Aljamain Sterling got smoked. Did you guys lose some money? Don't worry, Joe. Jeff has bags on it. I guess he's going to go ahead and take care of me.
Yeah, I need royalties, Joe. I'll take care of you with the royalties off the Bear is keeping from me.
Hey, man, but no, I didn't lose any money on that Aljamain Sterling fight. I kind of thought that this might happen, so I was talking with my boys, and I was like, man, it'd be a shame if Sugar Sean O'Malley went ahead and just caught him, dude, with a beautiful, counter punch. And sure enough, dude, that's what happened. And Aljamain,
I called it. Yeah, I called it before the fight started. I said Sugar has it, and sure enough, he did. I didn't think it was gonna be that quick though. I thought maybe 3 rounds. I didn't think one. Well, what was it, like 1 round and done, or 2 rounds?
Second round,
was it?
got knocked down. The second round, I think, was the 409 mark of the second round. Dunzo, man.
Done.
And he knew he messed up because he closed his eyes. He knew that punch.
I was close to say like the ref should not have stopped it. Like,
shouldn't have.
He was still defending himself. It was a fine line. Aljamain was on the mat, on the floor, I should say, and then he was still kicking and moving as long as their defense or something being shown. But I guess the ref said, nope, gotta stop it. You're getting pounded, grounded.
And Mike Baez from Bear County Social Peril, he goes, just a small gesture from Chris and him. He's talking about Chris Leha and himself. They're the ones that sent us the shirts, full disclosure. So we got your.
Hey, Mike, Mr. Bear, where are my royalties? Where are my royalties, man?
It looks like you were cut out of that.
Hey, where's my NIL deal? I mean, my NIL payment.
Oh, man. Hey, I wanted to go ahead and talk with you about this because I was talking with my buddy Spurnandez about it as well before he left. And this is a picture that I saw on social media early today. And it was showing Coach Pop and R.C. They made an appearance over there with the University of Texas in their women's basketball program. I guess they were speaking with them yesterday. So I thought that was kind of cool because Coach Pop is always about helping women in sports, as we saw from Becky Hammond when she was giving him, his roses, his flowers in her speech when she was enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And here you have Coach Pop again talking with the young ladies over there at University of Texas for their women's basketball program. Man, that's great to see, how the Spurs organization is involved, not just here in San Antonio, Texas, but around Texas as well. They travel well, man, especially having the neighbors over in Austin, and they do have their games over there in Austin in the Moody Center. They're showing that it's not just about those 2 games that they're having at the Moody Center. They're actually there, and they have a presence there with the University of Texas. So I thought that was cool, man. What did you think, Jeff?
My first thought was more of this franchise trying to put its footprint in Austin as this expansion continues of developing the southern corridor of Texas. That Austin, San Antonio, Laredo, all the way down to Mexico, that corridor. So I thought this is a good thing for Austin to see that the Spurs are involved with the Longhorn program, and again to strengthen the bond between San Antonio and Austin and the Spurs, really. And second of all, of course, seeing the Spurs reaching out to help out in this manner. Look, just a few months ago, they won the ESPN Humanitarian Award for 2023 for their efforts in Uvalde. So to see the Spurs, Popovich, R.C. do this with UT, it's pretty much par for the course. I mean, look at Blake Wesley right now. I just said he held a camp for kids. Par for the course. This is what the Spurs do. So that was my reaction to Spurs being the Spurs, as well as strengthening the bond between the organization and Austin.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and pause real quick so we can go ahead and hear a word from our sponsors, which is going to be Locked On Spurs. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow, not only on threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, so make sure you go and give some love to Jeff over there on his YouTube channel. Does a great thing out there by bringing you daily Spurs content. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share the videos over there at the Locked On Spurs YouTube channel.
By the way, I like what Mario Cavasta says. Yes, I'm in the Blue Beetle look today.
Oh,
the Blue Beetle.
You are in the Blue Beetle look.
Let me look this up a little bit to make it look more like the costume.
Hey, so let's go ahead and dive into that, man, because this is that we didn't really get to talk a lot about the Blue Beetle briefly, but I saw it over the weekend. I believe you saw it over the weekend.
I saw it over the weekend, yeah.
And this is a film that it's featuring a Latino familia, Latino family, but more importantly, a Latino superhero on the big screen, and this is for the cultura, for the raza, for them to go out and have a good time with this movie. It is a DC movie, and notoriously, they're not known for having great films being released. You saw The Flash, and that played something awful. You had the Wonder Woman 1984, which this one is being compared to as far as it not doing so great at the box office, but it did better than Wonder Woman 1984. I think it's going to start growing in popularity because I don't think a lot of people knew about this film, but it seems like it's getting more and more popular as people are starting to go ahead and taking to social media to let people know this is a good film and you should go and watch it. What was your impressions of the movie leaving the theater?
Well, let me tell you, I thought it was a great DC movie. I think, sure, the money stat side of things don't reflect it, but I thought it is a very entertaining movie. It went back to basics. It was nothing convoluted like we're getting right now, the multiverse and this and that, and go here and this and change this. Very simple, straightforward. I thought the use of a minimal use of CGI suit played out well. It was heavy real life suit versus CGI suit. I thought that was great. Did I have some gripes with it? Of course I did. I think it leaned too much on the Iron Man vibe of the suit, with you being able to see inside the helmet, him charging up his hands to shoot blasters, but it's hard to avoid that because that's what the Blue Beetle does. The creature in him creates things. So it is what it is. But as far as it being Hispanic, yes, I think it nailed completely the Mexican culture, from the Vicks to the family always being involved in every aspect of life, to everything. The tip of the cap to Chapulín was good. I thought that was great. Also thought this too, that yes, he is a Hispanic character in the DC universe, but he's not the first. There is Bane. He's the villain. I think they've gotten away from that because of the Tom Hardy vibe. But if you go back to his roots, I believe he's South American. I think something like, I want to guess, I don't know. And he's not Mexican, but I mean, he definitely is Hispanic if you go to the roots. And then, of course, that's about it. So to see this finally, a superhero take the stage, it was, what this reminded me of, Joe? DC's version of Spider-Man. The young kid that's getting the powers, doesn't know what to do with it, is reluctant, embraces it, and moves forth. So I thought the movie was really, really good. Great action scenes. Love the use of the bug tech and how it get into his mind and he's able to talk with him internally. So I love that dynamic. And you know what? As much as they panned this to be kind of a family film, let me tell you, this movie is dark. It's dark. Don't let the vibe and the commercials get you thinking else. People are getting offed left and right. Not kidding. Not kidding. It's a very dark movie. It has dark aspects to it. So I also like that vibe. I think what hurt the Blue Beetle was not enough promotion, and this is kind of like the dead period of theater and movie runs and everything. It was just coming off the new Mutant Mayhem movie, so there was that kind of act to follow. But I think the movie, I gave it an A. I gave it an A+. I thought it was good. The theater that I went to go see it at, were clapping at the end. And you didn't need to know too much of the background of the Blue Beetle because they tell you he's not the first. They make it very clear he's not the first one. You get to see that aspect. You get to see why Jaime Reyes got it. And I thought Susan Sarandon did a damn good job as the villain. She really came into her own as the villain as the movie went on. So, yeah, it's a good movie. I think it was just refreshing because finally we have a superhero movie that went back to basics. Right now in the Marvel universe, we're in a convoluted, what is this and who is connected to what and how, what's going on? Very simple, straightforward. I liked it.
I liked it too, but I liked it for different reasons. One of the reasons that I did like this film is the representation of a Latino family on the big screen. It wasn't a Puerto Rican family. It wasn't a Cuban family. It was a Mexican family that they had represented on the big screen. And then they had little touches, everything from the altar that you saw in the home, the way the home was decorated, you even had the tortilla holder that was on the table. They were eating tortillas. They were referencing tacos, and they were referencing the way that a typical Mexican family is, because they're going to be your biggest supporters in anything you do, but they're also going to embarrass the crap out of you.
And that was a good thing too, because as much as it was called the Blue Beetle, the family had a big role in the movie. It wasn't brushed to the side. The family wasn't an afterthought. George Lopez, his character is heavily involved throughout the movie. The grandmother is very heavily involved. The mom, so much, there, the sister especially. And by the way, the actress who played the sister really can evoke a lot of emotion out of the audience. I mean, her acting at certain scenes were pulling tears from the audience. I heard people sniffling. So again, don't buy the numbers. Don't go with that. Go see this movie. It's a very fun, simple, basic superhero movie, especially here in San Antonio, because you're going to see a lot of nods to that. Now, again, my other gripes, it wasn't a true adaptation of him. I think it should have been set in El Paso. It wasn't set in El Paso. It was a made-up world.
Yeah,
it was a made-up world. There was a tip of the cap to El Paso, but I really felt it should have been filmed in El Paso to really drive it home where Jaime Reyes came from. And as much as people don't like George Lopez, I thought he did pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, he overdid it a few times, but I think overall he did it. I really, and even the villain, well, I know Susan Sarandon, the main villain, but Carapax, you got to see the movie, but very menacing, very minimal dialogue with him, but when he's on scene, you can't miss him.
Yeah, so I enjoyed the film, man. I really did. I got to agree with you. I'm going to go ahead and give it an A+ as well. It's a must see. I think it's one of those films that you got to go see. It's a really fun film.
And the thing about it too is not yes, it is about like 90% a Mexican family, but they also bring in other Hispanic cultures. There's the Brazilian aspect of it, which is portrayed by the love interest. There was Carapax, like he was like Paraguay, right, or something like that. Yeah, like Paraguay or something like that. So you get to see that culture come in as well. So really good movie.
Yeah, so make sure you go and check that out. Another thing that I'm going to talk about too is that I saw a little bit of nostalgia today, man. Today is the anniversary of a movie that, of all people, man, Mike Jimenez was talking about. Better Off Dead. Today was the anniversary of Better Off Dead. Today was the date that it
appeared. Look at that poster
in theaters way back in 1985. And if you haven't seen this one, this is one of those sleeper comedies. It is
Yeah, it's funny.
extremely funny, man. And it's like
Mhm.
one of those stoner movies, low key, because they have some hallucinogenics that they took part in. And there's a hilarious scene with the
That was
dancing
the
hamburger.
Hey, speaking of memory lane, did you see that tweet yesterday I put out back in the 80s how everybody drank from the water hose?
Oh yeah, the manguera.
Tell me,
No,
why did the water taste so good out of the hose?
it
Like,
was probably the
why did it taste so good? And why was it that after a while, before the heat went away and the hot water got out, but why was that water so freaking good? I mean, you would stand there as a kid back in the 70s and 80s in the yard, picking this hose off the dirt, drinking it, and it just tastes so great. It was just awesome.
I don't know, man. You were probably thirsty as a kid running around all damn day, you know, but it
And
was
it charged you up, man. Like, it charged you up. Like, you could be on your last tank of gas, and then you drank some of that water, and you're like, "All right, I'm good to go."
yeah. Yeah, we got a viewer here saying that Better Off Dead, favorite movie, $2. They're always that kid, man, that's always there, you know, chasing John Cusack. $2, $2.
Mhm.
He owes him $2 for the newspaper. And we have another comment over here. It says, yeah, early John Cusack, great movie. Yeah. when he says, when the guy's mom blows up drinking gasoline, she thinks it's moonshine. Yeah, there's funny little tidbits in the movie like that. You know, it's a great comedy, dude. John Cusack back in the 80s, in the early 80s, low key,
Mhm.
man, he was always coming out in these either
Yeah,
comedies or kind of like romance comedies, you know?
I like what Hand Over Fist says. Yeah, early John Cusack, great movie. Yeah, and Cusack was part of that 80s um, run of just great movies, from the movie you just put up right now. Just to everything, everything he was done. He was involved. He leaked into the 90s. 90s, he started getting a little bit more serious, more romantic comedy, stuff like that. One of the better movies I like from Cusack is Runaway Jury. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one too.
Yeah.
Hey, but I was going to ask you a
I like
question here too, because the San Antonio Spurs, they're having their finale, right? The Ring of Rowel. You know, so it's or the last episode's already out. I believe it came out last week, so I'm kind of late to the
Yeah,
plate. Just saw it pop up
yeah.
here on social media, but I like the way they're ending it. You know, Ring of Rowel. It's a docu series that's out there on YouTube, so this you can watch it out on the Spurs YouTube channel. I believe that's where they have it at. But the cool thing is that they've been showing you a lot of nostalgia. You know, sitting down with
Mhm.
some of the former players. You know, George the Iceman Gerving, David Robinson, Tim Duncan. I think they even talked to Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker.
It's
They had
everybody, yeah.
yeah, they had everybody. They had a lot of Spurs greats, a lot of great history there. And as they bring it full circle here, they're showing you the history that was the San Antonio Spurs, and now they're
Mhm.
bringing it into the now. You know, hey, this is what's happening with the future of the
Mhm.
team, and they're talking about looking at Victor Wembanyama now. They put the future is bright, San Antonio. The Ring of Rowel finale. The Spurs looking forward to building on the strong foundation set over the past 50 years. And they do show video where they have Wembanyama and he's getting the jersey on draft day, showing the festivities that they had for him to welcome him home to San Antonio over at the Arneson River Theater, where they had the mariachis and everybody was out there and they streamed that. And it's kind of showing you a little bit about behind the scenes of all that and what was encompassing
Mhm.
the future now that is the San Antonio Spurs. So make sure you go and
Mhm.
check that out. I think it's going to be a good episode, especially with now they're showing that the future now is in Wembanyama's hands, So, I mean, what are you thinking about that? The Ring of Royal docu-series and it coming kind of full circle now.
I already knew that it was going to be coming full circle.
Yeah.
What other way you can end that series within just another brand new chapter, that being the Wemby chapter, and moving forward. But overall, I thought the docuseries was great. Uh, you know, uh, for me, it was just seeing all the old faces back together again, from Avery to Bruce Bowen to Sean Elliott to David, Timmy as well. It was just really great to see, and just to know like your Spurs history. Now, remember, this came out during the 50th anniversary, and I thought they're going to wrap it up within the season, but for it to leak
Yeah.
over into the offseason, that's pretty cool. So, all in all, a definitely a must watch. If you're at work, just let it play. Or you're at the gym and a run, treadmill, let it play because you will be entertained. from the highs, winning titles to the lows, the Miami game and the Ray Allen shot, by the way, that phrase is enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm not kidding. That phrase is enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Ray Allen for 3, bang.
Dang. Add salt to the wound. I like this comment here, too, from Tex-Mex Frank. Thanks for watching, by the way. He says, back in the day, Manguera water was our Avion, Fiji, Smart Water, etc. I'm telling you,
it was better than Gatorade. Like, for some reason, that water hose had special powers or something. I don't know what was in it, like a fountain of youth or something.
And it was always the green water hose too, right? Always the green water hose.
And then let me tell you, it's like you would have stayed there for a sip. Like you would stay there and just take gulps and gulps and gulps of water. And then you would leave. So that water was just something. Here's the thing. We didn't care that it was on the mud. We didn't care if there was dog poo in the yard. We just brushed it off on our shorts or our jeans and like rubbed it off with our hands and okay, go for it. You see, kids, we're fine. Nowadays these kids probably wouldn't even do that, Joe. I don't see it. They'd be all gross. Give me a bottle of water.
Mario Cavasso says, Serendipity with John Cusack. Jeff, did you watch that one?
I'll do you one better, Mario. I've eaten at the restaurant Serendipity where the movie was based about. So
nice.
Yeah. I mean, I have pictures of it too.
Yeah.
So we'll be inside. Yeah, it's an actual restaurant. They don't show you a lot of it, but the movie when it's filmed is like a little corner of it, but the entire thing is themed, and it's very small, and it's very close to where I live in New York City, and I can take a bus there. So yeah, do you wonder? Yeah.
Somebody was giving you a hard time. They're like, didn't Jimenez say that Jeff was supposed to be back here like 6 months ago? I'm like, he's actually he's moving to San Antonio. I'm like, come on, guys.
Plans are in the works.
They want
plans are in the works
and everything. They want you to make an announcement.
I ain't gonna give nobody the exact day. I'm not gonna tell anybody when I'm there. I'm not gonna say anything. Just one day, I want to see Joe. I'm making this up at
he'll be in the studio. There'll be signs.
Friendly spot. Or like at the friendly spot, and I want Joe to just see me walk across the yard there and be like, "Hey, wait a minute," like that. And I normally, and Joe knows this. Normally, I don't tell anybody when I'm home. I just pop up.
Yeah. He'll give you a call. Hey, man, you want to go grab a beer? You want to go eat dinner or something? Or come out and join us for some drinks? There's signs that he's here. Doesn't need to announce it like on social media. When he's back in San Antonio, there will be signs. You're going to see him eating somewhere. Maybe posting a picture at one of the local restaurants here, having a breakfast taco or something, So that'll be.
I like what Fred Real said. Water with minerals. The Edwards Aquifer must have been really good back in the day, man. That water was good, and it was like It was the right cold. It was that right temperature. Like that. You have to wait a couple minutes for the heat to get away and get out, and the hot water to go process. But once that cold water came in. My God, it was really good. Joe Gonzalez, like we said, heat exhaustion is a hell of a drug. Makes water hose water taste like purified through 15 times. Hey, but that's what we did back in the 70s and 80s. We went outside and played. It wasn't too much Atari.
Man. I love this comment here. Tim Gonzalez. Money bags will be seen at Don Pedro's on the south side. I know Jeff knows all about that Don Pedro, dude.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. And then my soon-to-be new home is still within reach. Not a bad drive to Don Pedro. So
yeah, but you'll see probably Jeff too. He'll take pictures of him being over there by South Park Mall. Frequenting his old hangout.
A very underrated mall. I think so.
It gets a lot of hate, man, but it's still a great mall. I mean, it still almost looks the same when you go inside. They still have the fountain and all that.
Remember the old school fountains? At the malls, and you would look in the water, and they sell those coins, and like somebody would dare you, like go in and grab some coins.
Not only that, but the smell that was coming off of that water, man, it had like a huge chlorine smell.
Do you remember when North Star Mall had that whole wing that was all white? It was just all white.
Yep. Yeah. No, South Park Mall way back in the day when you're walking into the entrance, they had that thick glass, this little square glass cubes. And you could walk.
Yeah,
they had glass.
They used to have the Lubies there.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's the Chili's.
I know you know all about TGNY. You remember that, Jeff, from back
Yeah, I
in the
do. But also,
day.
kids, did you know that South Park Mall used to have a theater? It was a small theater,
Oh,
but
yes.
there used to be a theater in the back.
In the back. It was like right in the
Yeah.
middle of the mall, kind of like hidden out of
Yeah,
the
in
way.
in the back. And it was 2 stories in the sense of, sure, you walked in at the street level, but you would walk down
Wow.
to go to the theaters.
Yeah. Full
So,
disclosure, man. I went and watched Terminator 2 there with my cousins.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where we watched it.
I think I saw Romancing the Stone there. For some reason that I remember seeing Romancing the Stone there. The old Michael Douglas movie and Kathleen Turner.
Oh man, Anthony L. There will be signs. Jeff is going to post pictures of an enchilada plate at Rocky's for $2.99.
No, it'd probably be the first sign, a picture of me at 1919. That'll be it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That'll be it. That's my spot.
That's
I
your
love
jam
going
right
there. God, that's my jam. Probably gonna find new jams soon, but I remember South Park Mall having a Chelsea Street Pub. That was
Remember
fun.
that?
Yeah.
I also had one at Ingram Mall as well. The Chelsea.
I understand, Daniel. What nice flex that about the water?
I think you were talking about because you were talking about the South Park Mall, the nostalgia with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, good times, man. Growing up on the South Side. I know the jewel of the South Side to me, and the good memory that I had is always going to be that Century South Arcade, man. To me, to this day, it's still one of the best.
Humongous. It was like 2 rooms, and they were packed.
Huge.
Packed from cabinet to cabinet. You had to squeeze your way through. I remember playing Afterburner there and Galaga there and Double Dragon there and the OG Star Wars game, Time Pilot, all that stuff there. I remember playing Cubert. I can still hear Cubert jumping from cube to cube in my head right now. At
Star
the
Wars,
old,
they had the Star Wars arcade.
Yeah, the one that looked like they were like hollow, like just bars. Like it was like that. Okay, here's the trivia for you. What was the name of that mall that used to be downtown? It was all pink. Remember, it was a small mall.
Elephant.
Remember that? What was the name of it? Because I don't remember. I just remember what it looks like. It's where the hotel is now. There's like a Holiday Inn now in the middle of where it used to be, and now it also too it used to be where UTSA is now, like that campus. It was on that plot there, but it was a pink building. It was a downtown mall. No, I still remember Joski's. I still remember going to the old school Joski's and like shopping there.
I remember that. I remember the old Joski's. Yeah. Now it's part of the River Center Mall now.
They're trying to bring it back, right?
I don't know if they're trying to bring it back because I know they were renovating the building, but I think it was just because it was like an extension of what they were doing with River Center.
How's River Center still thriving though? Like I don't see anybody say, "I'm going to go to River Center." I remember back in the day we would say that. Remember back in the day we're going to River Center. River Center used to be packed.
Fred Villarreal says it was the Henry Cisneros Mall where UTSA stands now. The UTSA campus downtown.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about.
It was I remember it being real skinny and tall.
Tall. It was ugly, dude.
Like
it was ugly as hell. And there was that pink had to go, man. It was just the eyesore of downtown San Antonio. That's what it was called. Henry Cisneros Mall. I was looking it up too, and he's right. That's exactly what it was called. But Jeff, that's about all the time we have for today's show. But make sure you go and check out the Locked On Spurs podcast today. I'm your featured guest. And like Jeff said, we're going to be talking about which players are going to regress this season. So make sure you check it out, not only on your Twitter and on the Locked On Spurs, wherever you can get your podcast, but also make sure you go and check it out on the Locked On Spurs YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. So, Jeff, you got anything you want to talk to us about? Give us a tease of anything that's coming up this week.
Yeah, we'll have another Locked On Spurs likely this Friday. We have a very good question to the point where the guest texted me back saying, "Do we want to go here?" So look forward to that. I should, hopefully, crossing fingers, I did get a chance to interview Avery Johnson, Pau Gasol. And I haven't put pen to paper yet, but I'm going to do that. Avery Johnson talked about Tony Parker. I got Pau Gasol and we spoke about Victor Wembanyama. So I'm leaning towards that one maybe be coming out first before Avery Johnson. So I'll keep your eyes on that. Follow me on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone for all things Spurs, all things nerd. I gave my review on Ahsoka, the first 2 episodes, which I thought
we
were
didn't talk
okay.
about that.
I had some issues, Joe. I had some issues. Did Ahsoka lose all her personality or something? Like, what happened to her? She just said, like, oh, okay.
I think maybe we're gonna have to do a quick little interview, like our own little breakdown of Ahsoka. So we'll probably do that. Maybe we'll talk maybe sometime over the weekend or something where we'll do it like maybe a quick 10-minute, 15-minute show about that. But definitely we're gonna talk about it because I had some problems with it as well. It was good, but there was some issues. You know,
it was good. Like she had no personality. Like she was just there. Oh, okay. And then like if she's supposed to be General Syndulla, well, who's she commanding? I didn't see anything like that. So I had some character issues there. But overall, I thought the action was good. I liked the opening crawl. That was different. I wasn't expecting that.
Like Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Yeah. Very Game of Thrones-ish. The ending was the ending credits were very Game of Thrones-ish.
Yeah.
But a lot of good stuff with the Night Sisters. Well, sister is back, so we'll see.
Yeah, man. So thanks again, Jeff, for jumping on here and being our guest for today's episode of the Alamo City Sportscast. So for Jeff Garcia, I'm Joe Garcia. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching another episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and share the videos. So that's about all the time we have for today. We'll talk to you guys later. We're out. Peace.